captain speaking. We're about to make our landing at London Airport, and you will no doubt be interested to learn that we will be landed by an automatic system.
Today, automatic landings hardly call for comment, but in 1965 they marked the opening of a new era for Britain in the air. And a new era was also beginning 600 feet below the inhospitable surface of the North Sea, when we struck rich with the discovery of enough natural gas to supply the whole of the UK for decades to come. Yes, in 1965, a new era was opening up for Britain. On the roads too, a new kind of commercial vehicle, destined to become a legend in its own lifetime, made its presence felt for the first time. In 1966, another legend was written. England, after an electrifying match that was still undecided when the full-time whistle blew, finally won the World Cup, beating West Germany during a nail-biting 30 minutes of extra time. In 1967, another world beater arrived to receive a tremendous ovation from crowds who had, for almost a year, followed his progress round the world in the tiny sailing boat Gypsy Moth. Sir Francis Chichester sailed into Plymouth on May the 28th, just 119 days out from Sydney, after an historic round-the-world voyage which took him 28,500 miles. Ford too made history by becoming the first manufacturers to introduce automatic transmission in a commercial vehicle, the Transit van. It was a significant breakthrough. By 1968, over 100,000 transits had left the Langley Works alone, bringing the grand total from all production lines to well over 250,000. 1968 also saw the inauguration of a new hovercraft service. The Mountbatten class SRN-4 carried 250 passengers and 28 cars at a rate of 40 knots from Dover to Calais on what proved to be a bumpy, noisy, but thoroughly exhilarating maiden flight. 1969, another maiden flight, as the British-made version of the Anglo-French Concorde 002 took to the air. The date, 9th of April, 1969. At airport dispersals throughout Europe, Ford Transits were helping subsonic airlines to speed passengers on their various ways. Ford technology had advanced too, and the Transit fascia was redesigned for easier, cleaner readings. 1970 brought a new life for Mrs. Constance Liddell when she was fitted with the world's first nuclear-powered heart pacemaker, developed in England and powered by plutonium. The pace of life generally was hotting up. The summer of 1970 was one of the hottest on record. And almost as if anticipating it, Ford had introduced face-level ventilation in the new Transit. A number of similar refinements to a redesigned fascia combined to make it the first commercial vehicle with passenger car comfort, and it was outselling its nearest competitor by 2 to 1. The 71 Transit was better to look at and easier to drive. Sales were approaching the 500,000 mark. 1972, and Transits were again the favourites. 632,000 of them were on the roads. 632,000 winners, a tremendous track record. And right in the middle of this winning streak, new dual-line brakes helped keep Transit out in front. A royal wedding added a splash of colour to an otherwise dull November day. The date, November the 14th, 1973. In 1974, the Middle East oil crisis caused a serious fuel shortage and brought the threat of petrol rationing. Ford too were very much aware of the new climate, and with the introduction of the 2-litre petrol economy version of the Transit, sales reached a staggering 940,000 units. Some took economy even further and caught the Transit bus. By 1975, the first crude oil was being pumped to shore from the North Sea. The occasion signalled a new feeling of optimism about Britain's ability to achieve self-sufficiency in energy resources. Also in 1975, a British expedition set out to climb Everest by the then unclimbed southwest face. They reached the top in 33 tortuous days and freezing nights. 1976 gave passengers on British Rail's new high-speed train the chance to cover the 112 miles from Paddington to Bristol in the comfort of reclining seats and air conditioning in 92 minutes. Transit figures were impressive too, with the sales passing the magic million mark. Transit was still outselling its nearest rival in the UK by 2 to 1. A new 1.6-litre inline petrol engine and the introduction of a 3.5-ton version capable of carrying a full 2-ton payload for the 77 model guaranteed a memorable Jubilee year for transit. In the world of technology, there have been a great many advances since 1965, the year transit was first introduced. Sound technology and engineering remain the bedrock of economic growth, and nowhere is this more true than in vehicle design. And that is why transit is still unsurpassed, and well over 1 million sales prove the point.
It's 7:30 a.m. The temperature hardly above freezing. The new transit, all ready for a full day's work and starting with a cross-country trip. The route rough and uneven. The ride comfortable. 10 a.m. and en route to the 40-acre field, over a mile from the nearest roadway. The new transit, coping easily with farm tracks. Its rugged suspension sees to that.
How are you getting on, Mike?
All right, John, thank you. Yeah, it's done about half an hour.
Good. When you finish this, can you manage the school field?
Right, try it. Do
Yep.
well.
See you in about an hour, Pete.
Okay.
2 p.m. A new driver takes over. Destination, Supplier's Depot. The driver, relaxed and enjoying the new interior features. The new transit, keeping pace with the trunk road traffic and delivering the goods quietly and smoothly.
Is that the lot, Pete?
Yeah.
I will take the feed out here and I'll take the rest down to the barn.
Yeah.
3:30 p.m. The short December afternoon drawing to a close. Some final jobs round the farm and back home for tea. The new transit, a tough, dependable, economical workhorse, now and for years to come.